The Caldor Fire is picking up steam in some remote areas. You can see just how intense the flames are getting in this canyon near Caples Lake.
You can hear the roar as it takes off, as it's burning all the available fuel.
Flames shoot up hundreds of feet. That can send embers up to a mile away, starting spot fires. Fire crews are setting up ahead to put those out before they grow. This fire moved a couple hundred yards in just 20 minutes because of winds in the canyon and thick, dry underbrush.
We'll have days like this where unexpected gusts of wind in very fuel-heavy areas, and some sparks are in there. The fire takes off, resources have to realign, and that's what they're doing right now.
The top priorities are protecting life, structures, and natural resources. That means keeping these fires from blowing into communities.
We're monitoring this, so let this burn, get this fuel off, and get the resources out ahead for the spot fires.
Hand crews are putting out hot spots just down the road. Others are cleaning up near Christmas Valley after yesterday's backfire.
The firing operation they did along Highway 89 was successful yesterday, and right now they're just conducting mop-up.
More than 4,000 personnel are fighting the Caldor Fire. Many are based at Heavenly Mountain Resort. The fire is still a few miles away, and so far it's not threatening other communities.
Based on that level of resources, we cannot make a promise of what the fire weather is going to be today or tomorrow, but we can tell you that the amount of resources we have here, we're confident that we can capture this fire before it makes any other unprecedented runs like it did a few weeks ago.
The Caldor Fire is picking up steam in some remote areas. You can see just how intense the flames are getting in this canyon near Caples Lake. Flames shoot up hundreds of feet, sending embers up to a mile away. That can start spot fires. Fire crews are setting up ahead to put those out before they grow.
The winds we're picking up through that canyon. In other areas, they're dead. And through these canyons, through these terrains and drainages, that's the one thing we've learned from this fire is to expect the unexpected.
One thing that's not expected is more damage to structures. Fire crews are putting out hot spots to keep this area from reigniting. South of Myers in the Christmas Valley area, they're putting out hot spots left over from yesterday's backfire. That removes fuel, hopefully stopping fire from getting past. Fuel reduction is happening around the nearby communities.
That in conjunction with all the dozer lines and hand construction that we've done with the crews out here, we're hoping to really stop it before it can get to those communities.
Covering the story, Paul Nelson, 2 News.
Crews are focusing their efforts around the Christmas Valley area as the fire is creeping in on both the east and west slopes along Highway 89.
It's still an active firefight. We're not out of the woods yet. We have a red flag warning today into tomorrow. So we're in for some tough tough work ahead of us.
Unfortunately, containment is extremely difficult due to the ash and embers flying up to a mile away from the head of the fire.
Last night was a very active night up here in South Lake Tahoe. The fire came down Echo Summit, spotted down into Christmas Valley and across 89 up onto the hillside behind that.
Fire officials are hoping to save as many structures as possible and make sure that the town of Myers and that of South Lake Tahoe do not become like the devastated communities southwest of Echo Lake. But additional help has arrived, with more on the way.
We got a lot more strike teams, you can see behind me, showing up today, ready to go to work. The divisions are putting them into place right now as we speak and getting them on structure protection.
Fire units consisting of water tenders, chainsaw teams, brush trucks, and spotter teams are constantly monitoring the roadway for new spot fires. Earlier, they had over 3,900 people fighting the fire. As officials say, this fire is the #1 priority in the nation.
I mean, it is a big fire, it's growing fast, and it's affecting a huge community of Lake Tahoe and of all the other surrounding agencies that it's already affected.
Ultimately, they are limited to hand crews at the moment, as visibility for air attacks is just too bad to fly.
If the smoke lifts, we have aircraft ready to go, sitting at a helibase base ready to get up there and do some air attacks for us. But as of now, you can see the smoke's pretty bad, and it's just unsafe for them to get up.
We have some active firefighting spots here, some active flare-ups, and this is more of a drainage just outside of the Kirkwood Ski Resort area.
And while the actual Kirkwood Ski Resort is not currently in danger, the fire is making more and more progress just to the northeast, as well as several hot spots around the town of Myers and Christmas Valley.
There are lots of smoldering areas and also very hot areas of debris in the Eldorado National Forest. So for safety's sake, we'd like you to stay away from the Eldorado National Forest until it is reopened.
In Kirkwood, crews are performing what's called backfire operation, creating smaller fires ahead of the main fire that they can easily manage.
Backfires are a technique that we use to actually mitigate fuel that's in the area in the path of a upcoming wildfire.
And even with the weather and fire behavior in their favor and the Dixie Fire growing in size, officials will not be releasing any of the 4,500 personnel currently fighting the flames.
Our resources now are very spread thin. And so the resources that we have here currently, we're keeping those resources until they're reassigned to areas of more importance or immediate need.
A big win in containment was also due to the amount of airdrops by both fire officials and those of the National Guard.
Over 20 helicopters and airships in the area that are actively making firefighting drops of retardant and water when it is safe to do so.
These airdrops are also picking up water from nearby lakes like Caples or Red Lake, and have made over 50 drops just in the past couple hours that we've been out here. This is also due to the increased visibility in the area, as they were grounded earlier on last week.
If it's too smoky or too foggy to see, we're not going to be able to fly.
Covering the story, Brian Hoffman, 2 News.
The fire's up in some really rugged terrain right now. Very difficult to access. We can't access it with engines.
Even with fire coming down on both sides of Christmas Valley, officials tell me there are no structures that they know of that were destroyed.
We had a good day yesterday. To this time, we have no reported structures that have been destroyed in the valley down here, which is awesome.
And better still, they tell me that the danger to the city of South Lake Tahoe, well, not completely gone, has greatly decreased.
For now, we can breathe a sigh of relief, take a breath, and relax for a few minutes and just know that for now the houses are safe down here.
Chief Lochner says that they will still stay vigilant, though, as structure protection continues as new smaller spot fires spark up.
The last couple days we've seen a huge increase in crews. Yesterday, they were just lined on Highway 50 waiting for assignments on structure protection.
Around the Myers area, the visibility is too poor for many air attacks, if at all. But they are in full swing around the Kirkwood areas. Multiple helicopters collecting water from the Silver Lake just south of us. Firefighting efforts were also bolstered overnight, now with over 4,000 boots on the ground. And along Highway 88 are crews and dozers doing forest and fire line management as well as preventative tree trimmings.
It's a large fire. It's not just South Lake Tahoe. It's Highway 88 and 89 intersection right there over by Kirkwood Mountain. And we still have active fire down in the Pollock Pines Grizzly Flat area.